Is your job leaving you feeling stressed and on the brink of burnout? Well, if so, that good job could be causing you more harm than you actually realize. My name is Zalani Anahisi, licensed therapist and breakthrough life coach. This channel is for Black women visionaries who are already doing the work, but still feeling stuck, stagnant, and depleted. We're here to break through all of that and create lives where we're flourishing and free. Welcome. Black women, we are stressed and we are silently struggling in jobs that are placing more and more demands upon us to the point where they're becoming toxic. We're supposed to just be able to get on with it without fuss and quite often without support. It's been shown that low levels of manageable stress actually can be good for productivity. But these are not the work environments that Black women are finding themselves in. We are highly stressed. And the truth of the matter is, we're just not equipped to handle it. Not because you're failing and not because you're not doing your job properly, but because our bodies are just not designed to handle high levels of stress over prolonged periods of time. To understand this further, let's take a look into the fascinating interplay between toxic work environments and our body's nervous systems. The body's responses to stress is controlled by two systems: the parasympathetic nervous system, which deals with relaxation, rest, and healing, and the sympathetic nervous system, which deals with the fight and flight responses. Now, picture this: early man, the hunter-gatherer. She is being chased by a predator and has but milliseconds to respond to preserve her life. What happens? Well, the stress of the situation causes her to have increased breathing, increased heart rate, sweat, and this kicks in the sympathetic nervous system. It triggers a whole process within the body known as the fight or flight response. What actually happens is a hormone called cortisol is released, and that gears our body up for fight or flight. It's a system that is absolutely necessary and keeps us alive. Our bodies actually go through a complete change in functioning and processing. Our pupils dilate so that we can see the predator more. Our muscles also dilate, getting ready for powerful movement, either running away or fighting that predator. Our thinking is completely reduced because our thinking is slower than our automatic responses. So thinking in this situation is unhelpful. So we can see here how this process really helps in a threatening life or death situation. Now picture this. You're in your office environment. You step through the door, dreading what you're going to face. You know that once you walk into that room and sit at your desk, there's a mountain of work waiting for you. You have a boss who may be unhelpful, may be critical and judging what you're doing. You may be left feeling incompetent, de-skilled, and just like you're failing in your job. Your relationship with your colleagues may or may not be great, but the pressures are leaving you feeling stressed. Your response to your work is this: your heart rate increases, your muscles dilate, your breathing increases, and this kicks in the sympathetic nervous system. Our bodies have no way of differentiating between the threat of a predator running towards us and standing in our office or work environments feeling stressed. Now, the problem comes with cortisol. It's a powerful hormone. It's called the stress hormone. And for early man, it was very useful. It created a physiological response that gears us up for powerful and immediate movement to save our lives. We run or we fight. It's supposed to be released in the body for a very short period of time to reduce the threat to life, after which the cortisol levels are supposed to drop, our body is supposed to regulate and normalize. However, in modern day, in our stressful jobs, the stress levels are just not coming down. This means that we have a constant supply of cortisol being released. This is dangerous. It's leaving our bodies in a hyper-aroused state, which research has proven has detrimental effects on our physical and mental health. On a mental level, it can lead to anxiety and depression. On a physiological level, it can lead to cardiovascular disease, heart disease, increased risk of diabetes, increased blood sugar levels, obesity. The risks are serious. So we can see how that good job just may not be worth the payoff. Now, I get it. We worked hard to get to these jobs. We educated ourselves or built ourselves up. We put in the effort. We show up day after day and do the work. We've invested ourselves. But is it really, really worth your long-term health, both physical and mental? I don't think so. The reality of the matter is there are interventions that we can employ that can bring our cortisol levels down. We can do relaxation techniques, breathing or yoga, or have massages, or take time, holidays off of work. Now, these things are great. They do reduce cortisol levels. However, what happens after we do those things to reduce the cortisol levels? We wake up again, we go back into the office, and everything is the same, which results in our stress levels increasing, our cortisol levels rising, and we are back in the same situation, time after time, day after day. The solution to this needs to be far more radical. When we have somebody who is in an abusive relationship, for example, very rarely would the best solution be to stay and try to work it out. The most useful situation, 9 times out of 10, is to remove yourself from the toxicity, get healing, and recover. Working environments are no different. It's time to leave these toxic jobs that are costing us our lives. Now, I get it. You worked hard to get there. You've invested a lot of yourself. And just to walk away, it seems silly. I myself spent many years working for government and NHS organisations. I gave my all, day in, day out. I spent 8 years in university upskilling myself because the feedback was constantly that I had to be more and do more in order to get the job done. But I ended up at the brink of burnout. And there was only really one solution: to leave. If it's costing us our long-term health, the only solution is one where we exit. Now, I'm not saying walk out of your job today with no plan and no future thinking at all. Please do not do that. It just would not make the situation better. However, if we can put a plan in place, create the right circumstances, we can leave these jobs and create a life where we're thriving. Leaving these toxic environments can open up the gates to healing, to rejuvenation, and to repairing the damage that has been done. It's possible. How do I know? Because I've done it. With the support of myself, you can do this. It's time that we really live lives where we're thriving, where we're flourishing, and where we're free. You deserve it. We all do. In the next video, I will be talking to you about how it's possible to heal and recover from a toxic environment. My name is Zolani Anahisi, licensed therapist and breakthrough life coach. Thank you for watching.